So Bertolt Brecht once said that the essence of all art is sensitivity, simplicity, and grandeur, and the essence of its form is coolness. Now, this for me seems to capture the essence of Ghosteen as an album. Did you ever have a fear that given the greatness of Ghosteen, and for me, Carnage, and to a great degree, your Seven Psalms album you've done recently, is an extension of Ghosteen's spirit. Did you ever fear that having produced something so great with Warren Ellis in collaboration, that it was only going to be downhill from here?
You're fucking awesome.
There's actually a pulpit. There's a pulpit here.
Well, you should be my PR person. No, but that's very kind of you to say. I think personally, there's a lot of people who don't like Ghosteen. A lot of people who write in and say, look, for Christ's sake, don't make another Ghosteen. And a lot of people who it means a lot to. So it divided people, that record. For me, that particular record is an extraordinary thing, mostly because of what me and Warren were going through and just what it was to make that record. And we go into that in the book in very deeply and in excruciating detail as to what was happening when we were making Ghosteen. And I personally think that record is carries within it something that is quite mystical for me. Without getting too whatever, I just think there's something in that, something when we perform those songs that is operating on a wholly different level. And that doesn't really have anything to do with my talent or Warren's talent. It really has something about a kind of coming together. Warren was in a terrible state when he was making that record. When we were making that record, he had his own issues. I was too. It was just an extraordinarily intense atmosphere around that record. That was there was a kind of joyfulness around the making of that record, that it just came out. And Andrew Dominic, the filmmaker who spent a lot of time in the studio, because he also was kind of going through some really fucked up thing in his life and loved this record. He had an interesting thing to say about it relatively recently. Like, the whole thing sounded like it was on the edge of disaster, that it was just not going to work, that record. And then just suddenly it kind of clicked and became this very, very powerful thing. And he was worried the whole time through the making of that record that it was just not going to work. Me and Warren didn't feel that way. We were just absorbed within the force of that record. And I'm really glad that you like it. Whether it's the pinnacle of something, I don't really see it in that way. I think it's just it's a record that sits on its own in some way, in its special ring-fenced category of something that is of great value, great service to people, and for some people, they just don't like it, don't get it. You know, it was a terrible thing, actually, because when we released the record, there was someone in my team had the idea that we would release it, and everyone could get to hear it on a live stream or one of those fucking things, right? And there was like the comment section where people are listening to it and writing comments. It was fucking unbelievable. And I was on tour doing, don't remember what it was, but I think it was an In Conversation event or something like that. And before I did those things, I tried to sleep for like half an hour or something like that before I went on. And I looked at this came up, and I looked at the comments, right? And the comments were so bad. I mean, they were just like R.I.P. Nick Cave and like vomit emojis and shit emojis and, you know, and oh no, not another one, and where are the fucking drums? And it was just like, it was really, really disturbing, and we just thought we'd made this record that everyone really hated, and then it just turned. People's response to it turned in quite an amazing way, and then it just came out, and it was loved by a lot of people. So we'll never do that again.